This is why we have
this is
the
why black
problems
women are the most smart. This is why we own houses. This is why we.
No.
Else?
You're being mad. You're being crazy right now. But at the end of the day, we was having a productive conversation. I think everybody contributed excellently. Even you. That's why what you're doing right now is mad weird.
What are you
it doesn't
doing?
make
He
any
tried
sense.
to call me out.
It
He literally
proves
tried
that
to call
you're
me out
just
on the
up
panel
here
to
to
start
piece.
an argument.
All right, I'm not about to argue. I'm not
You're gonna throw
I'm not
rocks
about
and
to
catch your hands.
May
He
I?
literally called me out in front of the
May I
whole panel.
reply?
I didn't even
didn't
say
call you
nothing.
out.
Yeah, I
And then
got you.
y'all
I got
know
you.
back until I had something to
No,
say.
you just sounded like
Now
a
that I have
people.
something to say,
You just sounded like a fake smart person.
It's cool.
That's why you had to bring up your degrees, because you're not that intelligent. Now I'm talking to you. Yeah, do that.
Oh, she done ran off.
Damn it.
The clown.
I want to note that if we identify together, then we should be able to address one another. Meaning, if I say, True, how are you feeling right now? It's a legitimate question, and we can address one another and deal with the way that we're comporting ourselves. One of the things that I did hear Pearl say that I thought was reasonable, among a lot of things that were unreasonable, she said the attitude. And I have to agree with her. The attitude is sometimes not where it needs to be. With women, black women, it might be negative. And with black males, they might not be very masculine. They mumble when they speak. They don't make strong eye contact. They might not be responsible and timely. We all have our issues, but if we're going to be the leadership class, we should be able to take feedback and give feedback. Because the truth of the matter, even if she was bored, and I've been in a lot of lecture halls, I've been in meetings where I've been bored. But one thing out of what's called decorum is that you don't make yourself look like that as an adult. It's a childlike thing to do. And so as a grown man, I asked her, how do you feel? Now, if she said, hey, I'm 9 months pregnant, the baby's about to come out, and I'm feeling tired and having hot flashes. I'm just barely here. I'm like, I understand. I have understanding. But that's why I asked her, how are you? As opposed to saying, hey, the way you look right now, you look disinterested and impolite, and you're misrepresenting yourself. And if we identify as black people, you're misrepresenting black people. So when you hear folks talk about black fatigue, there are undoubtedly ways that we represent ourselves that need to be addressed. And if we don't address it, that's when it gets talked about by all the other ethnicities, and they call it black fatigue. I yield the floor.
I think the difference is, Marquett, why between us and other races, well, specifically white people, is they have a vested interest in the promoting of us being that way. They are behind the labels that push the music that make us look stupid. They're giving the funding to the shows that make us look stupid. They're pushing that algorithm. So when I hear white, you're absolutely right. Because I know I get out of pocket sometimes because I mean what I say. A lot of people be on these panels and they're performing the conversation and it's not in their heart, like we just saying. There's no way you could be on a panel that we just did tonight and talk like that to us. There's no way. That don't even make no sense. That totally undermines it. That's why
you're the enemy. Talk to you like you're the enemy.
Exactly. That's why, because people perform the conversation. So when Pearlie was here, she had to perform the black thing, and when they left, now she's performing the sisterhood thing. You're performing. You don't have a stance. You're just going with whatever. But like I was saying, I think the difference is between us and white people. There's no excuse for getting out of pocket. I apologize, y'all, but I'm like this in real life. I'm not acting, so it's hard to stop being me. A lot of people are faking, but white folks have shown a vested financial, economic interest and investment in the perpetuation of the negative stereotypes of our people. And I think that's the main difference.
Well, I wanted to respond to what Cooley stated. I wasn't saying that we needed to request to be the leaders. I was speaking to the fact that, in my opinion, to be effective leaders, we should inquire or at least be open to some of the concerns or complaints, whether they're valid or not. I hear things that sisters say a lot of times, the women say a lot of times, and to develop as men, we should be able to have conversation. We should be able to help cultivate their perspective. A lot of times they believe that the existence that they're living is superior, but they avoid the fact that it is still grace that is being extended. So that's what I was alluding to.
Yeah. Because I could tell, just by her response, she went straight to speaking about bringing up stats of black women are more educated. We're entrepreneurs. We're all of this, but you're all of that. But where's your man? Where's your patriarch for the balance? Right. I'm sorry. You can go ahead, man. Yeah.
What I find is that we can sit here and say that we needed Pearl up here so we can understand that godly, for God's sake. Maybe they have some things that they got against us that we just got to hear out. But then we can have women. Oh, wait. But then we can have women up here and try to explain, and they try to explain to us how they experience us. And we dismiss it and say, "No, man, you don't know what the fuck you talking about." And this is not me just trying to jump, but I'm like, we invited a white woman up here and we're giving her more grace than we've given women on this panel, than we've given our own women on this panel.
Real quick, may I ask you a question?
Go ahead, man.
Do you feel like I didn't address her respectfully?
Absolutely not.
You're saying I did not address her respectfully?
No, you didn't.
Tell me more.
Okay. Did you sound respectful? Yes. Did you cuss her out or any of that? No. Were you cool, calm, and collected? Yes. And and I'm going to be honest, because this is all feels, so I can't tell you what your intent was behind it. But I sensed the same thing she sensed. You pointed her out because she seemed disinterested in what was being said. And you even admitted to it, and you even alluded to it in your explanation after the fact when you said, I could have gone told her, hey, look, it looked like you ain't really paying attention to what we got to say. You said, I could have said that, but instead, I said something different just to get her attention, to be nice about it.
No, it wasn't to get her attention or to be nice. It was because I was ignorant. So I had to ask her what I was seeing because I didn't know what I was seeing. You see, I would have been a fool to say you look disinterested. That might be how she always looks. I don't know. I'd be a fool and a liar to say you look like you're being impolite. So I asked her, but we have to really ask ourselves.
This is my own observation. I ain't saying that, you know what I mean, that you did one thing or the other. Because that's why I said, let me correct myself. I can't say that you were disrespectful because I don't know your intent. And also your behavior didn't show as much. I'm just saying what I kind of got the same thing that she got. She felt like she was being targeted because I also looked disinterested.
She was being targeted. Yeah, I asked her. I said her name. I was targeting her. I was targeting the conversation to her. Just like when I started talking to you, I was targeting you. Like I asked you your perspective. But what we have to be concerned about is I have never met the woman. I have no malice toward her. And if anything, we're all on a black panel. Theoretically, I should have favor for her. So it's like, why would you assume that I'm trying to hurt her or embarrass her or be negative, as opposed to saying, we are the greatest people on earth. Let's represent ourselves well. Like if people were to look at this panel with all the faces on here, let us all look focused and attentive. It's just like if you live in a community, you know, your grandmother, your uncle might say, hey, man, sit up straight. You don't tell them, well, why'd you ask me that? You're targeting me. Oh, thank you. I look better now.
Well,
I'm showing more respect to the people around. I get the floor. Go ahead.
What if she didn't want to?
And she has every right to that. And that's why I was trying to find out, was she experiencing something that is beyond what I'm thinking I'm seeing? Or was she being outright unruly? And that's fine. And the reason I asked to understand the difference is because, you know, there's an assumption that we have to take everybody with us. Not everybody's going to make it to the promised land. We have to know, okay, these are the people who share values. And I'll give an example where there's a separation in values. If I was listening to Lapeef speak, even if I didn't find it to be interesting, I'd try to make eye contact. I try to track the speaker, or I try to take some notes or convey presence, because that is a way that you show people honor. And I believe even if I don't agree with him or if I'm not intrigued, I'm going to honor him because he's not my enemy. I yield the floor.
All right. Do you know there's been several instances where several people on this panel have looked disinterested, depending on the person who was speaking? Aloof, looked down, walked off the camera, turned off their camera.
And that's why it's an intelligent thing to ask why. That's what I did. I did the most appropriate thing. So the reason I asked you, hey, tell me more, because I'm willing to learn from you. If you say, hey, Marquett, you know, when you started speaking, you mispronounced her name, or you cursed at her, or your voice went high, or you gave some legitimate indication that you have a problem with her. You see, because we can't say it's about black women or it's about anything in particular, because there's two other black women on the screen. I was asking something to understand, and it's that level of sensitivity that I believe is what holds us back. And we should be able to bring each other up. And for the people who say, hey, I'm not on that value set, it's fine. And that's what she revealed, that we have a different value set. But I didn't know. That's why I asked. Like, for example, my old lady, if I ever notice that she's not as, up tempo as she usually is, I might ask, hey, anything going on? And sometimes she might say, yeah, I'm going through X, Y, and Z. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, let me just let you be how you are right now. It's a matter of understanding. And I thought that I was respectful. And if you could point out anything disrespectful, I think you would have. You conceded that there was actually nothing in my communication. So the problem is not in my communication. It's in your interpretation. I yield the floor.
I think
some people will argue that maybe you need to change the way you communicate.
Well, that's why I asked you. I was like, what did I say wrong?
That's the thing. Like, if we just unpack it a little bit, like, is it the community? Like, who has who's insufficient? Who has the weakness? Is it the speaker or the person that can't listen? Like Marquett, I'm be honest here. I'm trying to be objective. I'm friends with Marquett, but I'm trying to be objective here. He asked a question that most Black women and all women would love to hear. How are you? Are you okay right now? This is a polite question. That's a polite question. But the thing is, what happens from that question, they tend to project what they think you're asking. This is why she alluded to, the red pill and all of this other stuff, this manosphere stuff. You like trying to bring down women. She made those talking points at the end when Illa was in, right? When they were having that back and forth.
Wait, hold on. No. I don't want you to misrepresent that. Because the reason why she did that was not because of what he said. You chimed in and said something that was really crazy. And so that's why she responded the way she did. You turned this into this is why you can't let women lead. That is what you did. I didn't find anything wrong necessarily with what Marquett said, but you came in and said that, and you directed whatever she was doing toward women not being appropriate leaders because she can't listen, because she was bored. So
it wasn't necessarily being about appropriate leaders. I was actually replying to what True said. I was
to take accountability for what you said in that moment that had nothing to do.
It had nothing to do with that moment. Okay. So did I not point out from what I've said? Did I not point out from everything of what we all observed? I gave my observation, and I think my observation was rooted in truth, because even she was. It was. You know how it was rooted in truth?
Yep. It's all
because by her action, she proven it. That's how it was rooted in truth. If you looked at the chat, the entire chat was saying that by her actions and the way she's behaving, she's actually proving Cooley's point.
Good God. Yeah, it's all a woman's fault. It's always the woman's fault. You can use any action from a woman to prove why the woman is the problem. And it's always, and I don't know, like, this is my first impression of you. I don't even know who you are. But this simple conversation turned into this. See, this is why women can't be leaders. You did that. And
so once
Aisha was the problem.
Do you know what True said? Because he actually brought it up and then he expounded on his point even more. Do you know what True, what he was saying? And then I replied to what he was saying. Then before he expounded on it, do you know what he said?
I was reading.
Oh, okay, so you weren't paying attention either. So you're no better than her. You're no better than Aisha.
I got a business point. First of all, I have had my hand up in the back chat for so long, I disconnected because there's no point in listening to a conversation that I'm not even a part of. Okay? That is why I disconnected. And I was like, you know what? Let me read my book. Okay?
Continue to prove the point. Continue to prove the point of what I was saying. You know what? And I'll go ahead and reiterate it again. Not that you're a woman, because my mother doesn't act like this. My mother and my sisters don't act like this. They don't behave like this at all. I don't see this type of behavior. Wow. When men are speaking,
I don't have nothing to do with your mama.
Okay, well, you're a woman. You said that. I'm letting you know that your behavior is not something that's just unique to a woman. certain types of women have this type of behavior where when a man is speaking and they can't follow the conversation, they don't have enough aperture and ability to focus on what's being said. They tend to tune out. So I asked therefore you're like, well, Cooley, you need to stop. Listen, you said, Cooley, you need to take some accountability. But you didn't even know why I said what I said because I was. I want to know
what type of woman I am. What type of woman am I?
Okay, so once again, you're still not following a conversation.
What type of woman am I?
A type of woman that can't follow a conversation.
I can't follow it, or I wasn't listening.
If you're not listening, therefore you're not following.
When you dominate a conversation and do not allow other people to chime in, those people are going to disconnect. I can follow, I can listen, I can pay attention if I'm a part of it. But listen, do you see how many people are on this panel? Some people are going to disconnect. If you ask man up here that was looking down and looking off, he might not have been listening for a couple of minutes either. And I think that's what Aisha said before she left. It's really crazy how it's just women. Oh, y'all can't. I ain't got no attention span. Am I retarded? Like, what type of woman am I?
Two things happen. Yeah, two things happen. So two things happen. I'll answer your. Well, one, I've already answered your question. So now you're repeating it, which means that you don't know how to follow a conversation because you said it prior, and I said because no, that is what I'm saying. So please listen, right? So one, if we're being honest here, we are witnessing two types of women. Marquett pointed out one, and then she admitted to not listening, and then from my statement, she proven that to be true. How, women, certain types of women, they don't, it's something just curious about certain types of women where they don't have the ability to respect males' authority. That's the thing. When you hear men speaking, like the thing, this is why there's a hierarchy to thing. There's men up here as well. I'm sure they're following a conversation. I'm sure they're listening. And there's other women down here too. Like Marquette pointed out, they didn't have any body language that showed that, well, even if they wasn't really paying attention, they're still presenting themselves in the right way, right? For you, we didn't know if you were actually presenting yourself in the right way. But now you just admitted that you weren't following the conversation. So there's one that had bad body language and admitted that she wasn't following the conversation. Now you just admitted it as well. So that's the type of women that I'm speaking about.
I came in at the last end of that because I had been out of the panel for a minute. But when I came back at the part where the two gentlemen were talking to Aisha and asking her, like, why was she like acting the way that she was? The question was asked. She answered honestly. It seemed like there was an honest answer. Mm-hmm. And then it turned into, well, I'm going to dissect your answer and try to figure out what's wrong with you that you can't. That I think just the way she answered. I mean, when you ask somebody a question, you want to hear the answer. She answered honestly. She said that she got bored and she zoned off. It happens. I don't know if that's something for anyone to try to look at, take a deep dive into because she zoned off. But like I said, I also wasn't here for that part. So I didn't see the interaction between the gentlemen. So I am missing, there is a caveat. I am missing part of it. But from that part that I saw, it just seemed as though when the gentleman, Cooley, when he responded, then Aisha, she felt defensive because she said, okay, when I was turning into a red pill thing because of what Cooley said about women not being able to focus and having the attention span of a gnat. So that's what I think happened. And it's, you guys are looking deep dive into her being bored.